Well, it's good to have all the weeds gone. And I put down the weed barrier. Here's the potato row. And I didn't put a weed barrier here because I need to still dig up dirt to cover the potato mounds. But here's my row of onions. And then I put the weed barrier down. And there is the row of tomatoes. And the row of peppers and more tomatoes down on the end. And Joe just mowed all of this down really short today. All this weeds that's grown up. I think that's, what is it called? Chickweed. It'll come to me. So I really would like to just plow that up again. If we could get the tiller back on the tractor when he's feeling like it. And I'll sow that in grass seed. But we've really scaled down the size of our garden. And this is more manageable for us now. Hey everybody, we're in the kitchen and it's supper time and we've got everything mowed today. And Joe's hungry and he's wanting soup, beans, and cornbread. So, he wants fried cornbread to go with the soup beans. So I put in the tend-to-bake cornmeal mix and a little bit of buttermilk. I've got the iron skillet preheating over there with some bacon grease in it. Joe's birthday was yesterday, and we went out to eat dinner with some friends at a local Asian restaurant called Yong's Asian Restaurant, and it was so good. But we're going to have his party Sunday. 2 of his sons will get to come, and the grandchildren, and so we'll have our birthday luncheon, and I'll be making him a cake. I'm going to make some schoolhouse spaghetti and a mayonnaise cake, so I'll film that. I'm going to make that tomorrow, so I'll film that and show you how to do it. So I'm going to let this set a minute while the skillet heats, and we'll fry up some corn. Okay, this has been frying for about 3 minutes or so, so I'm going to flip them and see what they look like. Nice and brown. Second batch coming up. I'm putting a little bit more bacon grease in here. See, it's smoking up. Turn the heat down just a little bit. I got the heat on about medium. Now, for a quick soup bean supper, Joe likes the Lux mixed beans, so it's easy. Just open the can, put them in a bowl, and I always put a little water in here to get all the soupiness out and thin that soup out. So they go in the microwave. Tell them how you like to eat your beans, honey.
1 bean at a time.
What do you like to put on?
Butter, salt, and pepper.
What did you go downstairs to get to eat with your beans?
Tomatoes.
And what else?
Peppers. Onion.
Yep, he likes pickled peppers, tomatoes, home canned tomatoes. I'm going to chop him up some onion. And the beans are heating in the microwave. And here's your fried cornbread.
beautiful.
I have to set you out some butter and you'll be ready to eat.
It's lovely.
Okay, his supper is ready, and this is one of his favorite meals, and it couldn't be any easier.
It's beautiful.
You're going to enjoy that, aren't you?
Yeah, I really am.
After a hard day of mowing.
Yes.
All right. We'll be back later with more cooking.
On the hour.
So while Joe's eating, I'm going to mix up his cake. And this is a family favorite. When I was growing up with my 3 brothers, this was our favorite cake, and Mom always made it for our birthdays and Christmas and any special occasion. So it's a mayonnaise cake, and I believe the recipe came about during the Depression when it was hard to get eggs, and you used mayonnaise instead, and so the reason for the name is mayonnaise cake. So to this bowl, I have 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of mayonnaise, and 2 tablespoons of grape jelly. And I'm going to go over to my hand mixer and mix this up until it's... Now I'm going to add the rest of the dry ingredients. And a tablespoon of vanilla. And in goes the vanilla. And we'll just mix this up until it's nice and smooth. Okay, I've beat this at medium speed for a couple of minutes. And it's nice and smooth, everything's incorporated well. So now I'm putting it into my 2 9-inch cake pans that I have greased and put a piece of wax paper on the bottom. And we will bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Joe ate the whole can of beans, his favorite.
I certainly did. I confess.
Okay, it's been 30 minutes and the cake is done, so I'm going to let it sit here in the pan for 10 minutes, and then I'll turn it out on a wire rack to completely cool before I ice it. Alright, the cake is cool and I'm getting ready to make the icing for it. And to make the icing, you use 3/4 cup of melted butter, 2 2/3 cup of confectioner's sugar, and a 1/2 cup of cocoa, a dash of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and about 5 or 6 tablespoons of milk, but I'm going to use heavy cream. Okay, I'm going to use this heavy cream, and I'll start with about 3 tablespoons, maybe 4. That's 4. Mix that up a little bit. It's pretty thick. Go ahead and add 2 more. It's 5, 6. I'm not a good cake icer. Okay, the cake is iced, and so I'm just going to put the cover on it and put it in the refrigerator, and we'll have it for Joe's birthday party. Mayonnaise cake. Good morning. It's Saturday morning, and we got the cake made last night. Today we're going to make the spaghetti. And that way, when we get home from church, all I have to do is pop it in the oven and bake it for an hour and put the salad together. So, I'm going to show you what you need for this recipe. Now, I got this recipe from a website or a YouTube channel called Momma Joyce's Country Cooking. She's passed away since, but her son has got a channel too, and I think it's Country Boy Cooking I can't, something like that. I'll try to link it in the description below.
That's what it is.
Country Boy Cooking.
Something like that.
I can't remember his name. But anyway, his mother was Mama Joyce. And she had a really interesting life story. She was raised in a children's home. And she loved to work in the kitchen and learn how to cook. So this is how she learned to make this spaghetti. Sometimes it's hard to say, spaghetti. So anyway, I made it once when Henry was here, a grandson. And Henry said, "This is the best spaghetti I've ever eaten." So that's what we're going to have for Joe's birthday lunch tomorrow. So I hope they all like it. Anyway, I'll show you how I make it. We're going to start by browning our hamburger meat.
What's that?
And you want to use one of these choppers and chop it up as it's browning. Some people like big clumps of meat in their spaghetti sauce. We don't really prefer it either way, but we prefer it kind of chopped up a little bit more than having big clumps in it. Okay, the hamburger is nice and browned, and you see the texture is just little crumbles. So there wasn't any grease to drain out because I used a 93% lean hamburger. So I'm going to add now all the other ingredients except for the cheese and the noodles. So first I'm going in with the 2 cans of crushed tomatoes and the second can. And give this a stir. Now this recipe makes a lot. It's a good recipe to use for a potluck, or if you're needing to take a meal to a family for some reason. I made it for a family. The mom had carpal tunnel surgery and they have 4 children. So I made this for them and they loved it too. With a salad, it goes really great. So there's the tomatoes in. I put all the spices in this one little container. I already have those measured out. And of course, I'll link, or I'll type the recipe in the description box below this video, and I'll try to remember to link Mama Joyce's video where she's making the spaghetti sauce. Now I'm going to go with the Better Than Bouillon, and that was how much? I think it was 1.5 tablespoons. I couldn't remember if it's 1.5 or 2.5. And be very careful because this sauce will splatter and it will burn you. So let me turn that heat down a little bit. And I need 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire. Let me get that. And then I'm going to put in the 2 packets of McCormick's Spaghetti Seasoning. Thick and zesty. Oops. everything except for the cheese and noodles. And we're going to let this come to a boil, and then we're going to turn the heat down on low and let it simmer for about 45 minutes. I had to move my camera out of the way because I didn't want it to get splattered with this spaghetti sauce. But look what a nice thick sauce this is. And it is really, really good. So it's almost ready to turn this down on low. I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for about 45 minutes. And while it's simmering, I'm going to cook the noodles and get those ready. Just cook the noodles according to the package instructions. And we like the fettuccine noodles instead of the spaghetti noodles because they're a little wider. So that's what I'm using today. Oops, just about popped again. You have to stand here and stir this to keep it from popping and splattering everywhere. So we'll be back later. Okay, I've got the noodles just cooked. I turned them off, and the spaghetti's been simmering now for 45 minutes. It just popped out on me. So now I'm going to add 10 slices of mozzarella cheese. I've already put 2 in. I just put 2 or 3 in at a time and stir it until it's all melted up. And I went ahead and turned the eye off so it would stop popping. This is going to be some delicious spaghetti. And then I'm going to take the spaghetti out of the pot and I'm going to rinse it in some hot water. And then I'll add the noodles into this sauce and stir it up until it's all mixed up good. Okay, that was 1 whole package of mozzarella cheese, 10 slices. And it melts pretty quick, as hot as this spaghetti sauce is. Okay, I have the spaghetti all rinsed in hot water, and I'm going to add it to this pot of spaghetti sauce. I think rinsing it helps get some of the starch out of the noodles. Okay. Now we're just going to stir this until we have it all incorporated. And we're going to pour it into, I've got a 9 by 13 pan, but it's always more than what that pan will hold. So I got another 8 by 8 that I put some in. And what I do is bake the 9 by 13, but I freeze the 8 by 8. So that way we'll have it for later. It's already made, and all you have to do is bake it. And there will be seven of us eating tomorrow, and this will be plenty with that 9 by 13 with the salad and watermelon and cantaloupe and the mayonnaise cake. So we'll have plenty of food. I think that's stirred up pretty good. I'm going to put it in the pans. Okay, this is ready, so I'm going to cover it, and once it's cooled down enough, I'll put it in the refrigerator, And tomorrow, all I have to do is bake it. And you bake it at 225 for an hour. So, I hope y'all make it. You won't be disappointed. Today is fence repair day, or post repair, I should say. We've got several posts up here that have rotted out at the bottom and needs to be replaced. And Joe's good friend Gary has come over to help with doing that, with Gary doing most of the work. And I think now they're looking for some board to replace some fence between the posts. Got this one done.
It's not going to be real straight. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, it's neat too, isn't it? I'm doing great.
You look good.
Hey, look, how's it going?
Good.
How you doing? You fine.
Dad, this is Holly behind me.
Hey, Holly. Holly behind me.
Yeah, Holly behind. How you doing?
You doing good? You?
Yeah, I'm good.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too.
I'm James.
Little James.
Yes, little James.
Hello.
These two are getting ready to head to camp.
So what's this 4-H camp?
It's basically, I have no other
A camp.
example for it.
It's like a camp of like a bunch of.
You do a bunch of outdoor stuff.
Yeah, what activities you guys gonna do?
Well, I'm probably definitely going to the fossil stuff,
Oh, I didn't know that. Fossils.
They got animals,
the gun range.
Yeah, I was gonna say the shooting range.
shooting range, canoeing. You got a pool. It's an old school summer camp.
That's great.
You can canoe.
We did it when we were kids.
Yeah.
The
Also, I
exact
didn't
same
know.
camp.
Well, I didn't remember. I don't remember that.
When we were in 5th and 6th grade, you got rid of us for a week. Yeah.
Joe, you have a nice tan.
He was outside in the sun all
I
day.
was up there in the sun yesterday, so.
I can tell.
Look at that
Gary
haircut.
came over and helped him
Haircut?
replace some of those posts out there at the paddock that's rotted and about to fall off. So I think, did you get 2 posts done yesterday?
2 posts done.
Got 2 more to go. Maybe 3.
2. Well, maybe 3, yeah. We'll see how it goes once we get in there.
Big birthday boy.
Yeah. I might dig in the food.
I still eat there.
Beans are me.
That construction downtown has been such a nightmare though. I felt
Oh, really?
yeah.
On Walnut
Yeah.
Street.
It's from years and Crumb closed. It's my favorite bakery.
Oh, really?
Y'all waiting on me?
Yeah.
No, thank you so much.
Yeah, I think you
so
got
good.
it. It was really good.
Ready?
Alright.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
To me.
Happy birthday, dear Judd.
Wonderful.
Happy birthday to you.
Many more.
Alright.
Blow 'em out.
Blow 'em out.
Cha cha cha.
Oh, good job.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
Alright, Dad, how big of a piece do you want?
You scared?
Dad,
Huh?
how big of a piece do you want?
About an eighth.
1/8 of the cake.
Eighth of the cake.
Alright.
That's a lot of cake.
Alright. That's 12.5%. Yeah, thank you. I'm like a base 10.
You're doing good.
What do you think?
It's good enough for me if you want me to be the one to take it.
Watching lunch. Okay.
Get hold of it.
I'm going to. I'm going to get a fork so I don't have to use my hands.
Hurry!
Wait, before it breaks.
Alright.
Is everyone able to get 12.5% of the cake?
Okay.
And what do we do?
Here you go.
That's mine. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Alright, who's next? Joanna, how much do you want?
Just a little sliver.
A little sliver.
Just neat.
Smaller piece. There you go.
Give me the rest of the sliver.
Oh, I
It's little, so I want it all. All right, boys. What do you think about the cake?
So good. Amazing. Delicious.
shoot.
Hey, for your birthday, here's your birthday coin. Okay. On a sunny day in June, he made the family swoon. When everyone came to see that baby of Malcolm Gradley, he kicked and screamed and cooed, but his mother wasn't fooled. She knew that baby boy would bring her so much joy. So she taught him many things, and every day he'd sing. He loved his mountain home, and over the hills he'd roam. Took his fishing pole to school, and a racetrack he would rule. Gradley wasn't thrilled when he traded for Old Bill. Y'all remember the story about Old Bill? He'd laugh, tease, and play as he charted life's way. The army called his number, where he kept night fires without slumber. As the clock of life kept ticking by, he fathered 3 sons, the apples of his eye. He married Joanna Lee one day and made their home a parade. 2 grandsons now in the family tree, and he is as happy as he can be. Today he's a ripe old 74. One thing's for sure, he's not a bore. Loves his family and friends, the hearts of all he wins. His cornbread everybody wants. Margarita is his favorite jaunt. So happy birthday to my Joe. I love your sweet heart of gold. May God's blessings come your way. Why I'm crying. As we celebrate you today. I love you.
I love you. Appreciate that,
That was really sweet. Yeah.
Our skipper down there.
Great job.
Looking up here checking things out.
Hello.
Now who's Old Bill?
That's what I'm saying.
Dog.
That's what
Okay, tell the story about Old Bill, honey.
Well, Old Bill, I went to they had a stockyard, they called it. It was sort of like a flea market, and sold the animals of all sorts and whatnot. Every Wednesday is what they did that for years. So I went with a buddy of mine and his dad, who drove a pickup truck up to where this is at. It's like 5 miles from where I originally lived.
I'm afraid it's not picking up your voice. Go ahead.
Well, and anyway, went up there and saw a black and white big hound dog. I mean, about as big a hound dog as you can see. And I got traded with this guy for I had a BB gun, and I traded that BB gun for that dog. The dog had mange.
Oh no.
It's
So
bad.
that's why his mom was not thrilled when he brought that mangy dog home.
And I got some amate. It was a brush killer, and put more of that on him. And he got over that. He survived. So my mom, she'd come out there, and I had him tied up initially there where that inmate was at. So she said, "I'm tired of this S-H-I-T." I'm tired of that.
I've never heard your mom use a word like that.
I know it. And I talked her into letting me keep it. So he lasted about 5 or 6 years, I guess, before he died.
That was old Bill, huh?
That was old Bill.
Now tell him the story about when you was in the Army and you took turns having keeping the fires going at night. And you were real good at stoking the fires.
Yeah,
You knew how to do that, and others didn't.
right. I made a lot of money like that. So what I would do, I'd go bank the fire. They called it banking it. I was used to that completely because that's where I come from, cold country, originally. And so those guys, they couldn't keep the fire going. It'd go out, and they'd be poking at it and kind of get going, and it'd die. And so I got at that time I got $20 out of these guys every night, which was quite a bit of money back then. And I would bank the fire, and everybody would come there and they'd look at that and they'd mess with it. They didn't know what they were doing. And so anyway, it was just a way of making extra money. And I would, the other thing I would do, I'd get them to fix me about 5 eggs with bacon or ham or whatever over at the hospital, at the main mess. So I got that food too out of that deal. So
Because you could keep the fire going.
keep the fire going.
Would they get in trouble if the fire went out?
Yeah. You could take a shower.
Oh, you were heating everything with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing was huge. It was a big thing.
What base were you at?
That was Fort
Benning or Campbell?
Camp. No, not Campbell. Well, I was at Campbell, but I mean that's
So you went from there to San Houston,
yeah.
and then there to Fort Rucker.
Right. That Rutgers was the state of Rucker then. That's where I kept the fire bullets.
Down in Dover.
Yeah, those that makes sense.
Right. Well, have you had a good birthday?
I've had a real good birthday. Thank you for asking.
Well, many more.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.